What's going on, everybody? We're back at it again with another NFL game preview. In this game, we're going to be talking about the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Giants. This game is going to be played in Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field. This is a huge game to me. At least for the Giants, it's a huge game. They need this win to get themselves back into at least the hunt for what's going on in the NFC. I know it's a little bit early, but the Giants have not played well. They've only put up 13 points in 2 games here. So it's not looking too good for them. You can blame partially on Eli Manning and partially on that offensive line, and even partially Ben McAdoo. He has not had his team ready to play on offense. Odell Beckham did play this past weekend, but he only had 4 catches for 36 yards, so that's not a very good showing. Not what you'd expect from the New York Giants, considering that they like to force feed him the ball. Now looking at some key matchups here, we're gonna have that Eagles defensive line versus that Giants offensive line. Now, this Giants offensive line has allowed 8 sacks, and this Eagles defense in general has 8 sacks on the season in 2 games. That's about 4 sacks. That's exactly 4 sacks a game, and this Giants offensive line is just not good. Ereck Flowers is playing terribly. I've said it many times, and I'll say it again. He should not be playing left tackle in the NFL. He'd probably be better suited as a guard. But this Eagles defensive line led by Fletcher Cox, one of the best in football. Brandon Graham could have a huge game if he's lined up across from Ereck Flowers. Any player who's lined up across from Ereck Flowers could have at least a sack. It's just something that happens. He's just the worst left tackle in the NFL. Now, this Eagles this Eagles defense in general, led by Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator, likes to get after the quarterback, likes to send a lot of blitzes, and it's dangerous if Eli's able to get the ball in one-on-ones at Odell. But if this Eagles defense can get to the quarterback, create that pressure, the Giants could be in for a long game. Eli Manning could be in for a long game. It could be a bad game. This game could get to blowout depending upon the pressure, and if the Eagles defense is able to keep in check a lot of the things that the Giants like to do in the offense. Now, another key matchup in this game is going to be Carson Wentz versus Steve Spagnuolo. Now, Spagnuolo coaches the Giants defense, and he's a smart guy. He knows how to confuse quarterbacks. He's responsible for pretty much those 2 Super Bowl victories that the Giants have in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. But this is going to be an interesting matchup. Carson Wentz has 2 games of experience against this Giants defense. It's just going to be a matchup that he's just going to have to be looking at down the field. Carson Wentz has only completed 60% of his passes. You might think it's pretty good, but it's not that good considering that a lot of guys probably throw more at the 66 to 68 clip. And the Eagles are not able to really run the ball effectively. They are averaging 4 yards a carry, but they don't have a guy who you can say is their bell cow. LeGarrette Blount leads the team with 14 carries, and then it's Darren Sproles with 12. But you like to use Darren Sproles more in the passing game. And then Carson Wentz is leading the team in yards with 8 carries for 61 yards. So that's a little troubling looking at what they like to do. But the Eagles like to throw the ball. Now, the last matchup that you're going to be looking at is going to be these Eagles receivers versus that New York Giants defensive backfield. Their defensive backfield is talented. Eli Apple has been burnt a little bit, but this is only his 2nd year in the league. Cornerbacks take a little bit of time to groom because they are out there on an island. Janoris Jenkins did not play on Monday night, so if he plays this week, it could be a little bit more of a problem for Alshon Jeffrey or Nelson Aguilar or somebody. And I expect Landon Collins to be matched up a lot with Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is Carson Wentz's favorite target, and if Landon Collins can win that game, then win that one-on-one matchup, then the Giants have a chance because that takes away his number 1 option, his number 1 read probably most of the time. Now, the Eagles are coming off of a loss last week against the Kansas City Chiefs, and they beat the Redskins in Week 1. If they can get another divisional win right here, we're talking about probably a chance for them to be one of the best teams, most talked about teams in the NFC at least, because they're beating up on NFC teams. Now, the Giants are 0-2. They lost last week to the Lions, and they lost to the Cowboys in Week 1. They've only amassed 13 points in 2 games. It's not looking too good for this offense. The defense is probably a little frustrated, but I expect this team to come together. However, I do not see the Giants winning this game. Now, we're going to talk about 3 reasons why both of these teams will win. Now, 3 reasons for the Giants is that they're able to give Eli Manning time, giving him more time than he's used to at least, giving him time to pick apart the holes in the defense of the Eagles. And if he's able to get that time and deliver about a 300-yard game, no turnovers, which is a huge thing for Eli Manning, to have no turnovers in a game. And if he's able to have 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, and find Odell for 8 catches, over 100 yards, and a touchdown himself, you get that offense going in the right direction. This is a very talented offense. I will admit to that. But they're held back by that offensive line. The number 2 reason why the Giants could win is because I think if you're able to create that pressure on Carson Wentz, you force him to make bad passes, turnovers. Turnover battle always wins the game. So if they're able to rattle Wentz a little bit, they can get to him, get a couple sacks, make him throw a couple bad passes. That defense comes through with a couple picks. Forced fumble here or there, fumble recovery. And they can win this game. And the 3rd reason why the Giants could win this game is Ben McAdoo is able to become a smarter play caller, maybe even work in the run a little bit. I mean, you can't give up on the run no matter what. So you need to stick to it so the defense is able to still believe that you might run the ball and that play action exists. Now, 3 reasons why the Eagles will win. Reason number 1 right at the top is that the Eagles defensive line is able to get over 4 sacks in this game. I just think straight up, if the Eagles get to 4 sacks, they'll win this game no matter what, because they will just keep adding more and more and more. They could have 4 sacks in the first quarter just off of this offensive line. Able to create that pressure, have the Giants behind and long down and distance, they'll win this game. Reason number 2 why the Eagles could win this game is Carson Wentz is able to find Zach Ertz beating Landon Collins most of the day. And if Janoris Jenkins does play, he's able to pick on Janoris Jenkins a little bit with Alshon Jeffrey on the size advantage. And reason number 3 why the Eagles will win this game is because they're the better team. They're the more complete team. I wouldn't say either of these teams are complete products, but the Eagles would be more of the complete team here. They're able to limit turnovers, get to the quarterback, run the ball effectively a little bit. You can see a lot of LeGarrette Blount in the 4th quarter. Now, my prediction for this game is that the Eagles will win this game. They will probably win this game 27-17. They're able to limit Odell Beckham to about 3 catches for 40 yards. He has no touchdowns. He gets frustrated. Kicks the kicking net again. Eli Manning is knocked around all over the place all game. Eagles sing to the tune of 7 sacks in this game, 3 picks, and a forced fumble. That's my prediction for this game. Thanks for watching. I got the Raiders and Redskins coming up next, and then we're going to shift a little bit into some MLB baseball playoff talk here. Season is coming to an end with 1 more week, so we're going to talk about that for a little bit. Thanks for watching. I'm out.